Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending with the time that you are watching us. It is yet another special episode right here on our YouTube channel. Of course, this is Kenya Trends channel right here on our YouTube page, and today on my political journal, I would want us to note a very important point. I know some of you, if not many of you, have been thinking that suppose the Senate stamps the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, then he might stand another chance to fight for himself at the Supreme Court. But I am here to bring or to break some news to you. So this is what is going to happen. Rigathi Gachagua, once impeached by the Senate, that will be the end of it. I know some of us were thinking that there is a way that he can fight his impeachment at the Supreme Court, but no. It has come to my realization that according to the Constitution, the impeachment of the Deputy President entirely depends on the Senate. The Senate will be his trying point, and that will be the end. The judiciary has no role to play in this unless it is overseeing the process. And you will remember just the other day, the motion mover submitted the impeachment motion to the parliament, but it was before he did the public participation. Normally, we all know that the public participation must come first before the motion is presented to the parliament. But this one, the motion mover presented first, and then they were ordered to go and do public participation. Of course, the speaker ordered the public participation to be Friday of that week. But again, the judiciary went ahead advising that the public participation should not just be done in the 47 counties, but to all the 290 constituencies. Because since they were elected with from all the constituencies, or it was at the constituency level, so every opinion mattered from every constituency. I know some of you might be doubting this, but come to think of it, we've been seeing Rigathi Gachagua and his lawyers numerously or continuously submitting petitions to the court to prevent his impeachment. And have you given a thought of the petitions that they were submitting? Of course, just the other day when Rigathi Gachagua was having a press conference, he mentioned something about how you dare think I can be impeached without public participation. Definitely in one way or the other, he was criticizing the mode of public participation. And so their concerns are more on petitions. And so their concerns are basing on the procedure and not the results of what will come out, because that's the only way that the judiciary might save him. You will remember in 2017 when presidential elections were nullified by Supreme Court, the judgment entirely based on the procedure. You will remember there was an issue of transmitting from 34A and from 34B, and that were the reasons why and those were the reasons why the presidential elections were nullified. So what I'm just trying to say is that process matters a lot. And so, in fact, to just add on that, Nelson Harvey just tweeted concerning the same, and here is his tweet. In fact, it should be right on your page right there. Rigathi Gachagua will cease being Deputy President on the vote of the Senate. Unlike removal of a judge, which can be appealed to the Supreme Court, impeachment of the President and Deputy President is final and incapable of challenge. The Constitution did not contemplate judicial intervention on impeachment. So, judiciary has no role or part to play in this. Once the Senate approves his impeachment, which we don't know, but basing on how things are going, they will just stamp, then Rigathi has no chance. Supreme Court, Koome has no role to play on this. I know some of you are thinking that, okay, since it is a political process and politics might not be just sometimes, then he will have his justice at the court, but seems his chances are limited. And yes, today on Friday, we are yet to hear the ruling of his case, one of his petitions that he filed against the court, and his complaints were that the charges that have been used to impeach him do not hold water. And so today it will be the day that they will be that we will know if the man is going to be impeached, or the process of impeachment is going on, or or he is going to be vindicated by the court. We are yet to know about that, and today that ruling will be out, and I'll be here telling you. Of course, to just second whatever I've been telling you, here is a video of Ken Mijungu explaining this, and yes, the man has explained it well. Just have a tip of it.
The court's not being able to help the deputy president, and this is my hypothesis. Msinigonge, let me tell you, 2010 constitution recognized that the deputy president's office has to be protected in the constitution. That's why the president cannot fire the deputy president. That's why they need to go through the National Assembly. So this power was taken out of the president's hands and given to the National Assembly by this constitution. And that is the reason why the National Assembly has the checks and balances. That is why the threshold is so high that only 2/3 can impeach a deputy president or can remove a president by way of impeachment. So this power was taken from the president and given to parliament, to the legislative arm of this government. And then they put the threshold so high. For you to impeach a president or deputy president is not a walk in the park. 2/3 majority. Now, this power is so intense that the constitution cannot donate it to anyone else. The power to impeach removal of a president or a deputy president cannot be donated to anyone else. In my own hypothesis, even to the judiciary. The judiciary cannot possess this power to impeach. Otherwise, the constitution would have been explicit and given it to the judiciary. To the judiciary, you can impeach the president, you can remove the deputy president. But this power cannot even be donated, in my opinion, to the judiciary by the constitution. That's why they gave it to the lawmakers, the legislative arm of the government. And the procedure is, it originates from the National Assembly, then it goes to the Senate. That confirms it through a trial in the on the floor of the Senate, either through plenary, which they call the Committee of the Whole House, or through a panel or a committee, 11 members, which was shut down yesterday. Now, my point is this. If this power cannot be given to the judiciary, how will they save the deputy president if he goes to the judiciary? I'll tell you why they can't. This is my own hypothesis as a lawyer, is because the safeguards, the checks and balances needed to be solid. Now, what the judiciary can do, the only thing the judiciary will do, will examine the process. And as always, I like to take you through the chronology to justify myself. Did you hear the deputy president questioning the procedure? Did you hear the deputy president questioning the public participation? Now, these are the only reasons. Did you hear Paul Muite and the rest of the lawyers questioning the process? This is the only way that the judiciary can get involved, not in the act. So they will look at it and say, because of the procedure, this thing is flawed. Because there was no adequate public participation, this thing is flawed. Because this was not followed, this thing is flawed. That's why the National Assembly, when the judiciary decided that public participation has to happen in all the 290 constituencies and not only the 47 counties, Parliament complied the next day because they know how important procedure is. So my point today, what is it? My point is this. The judiciary cannot interfere with the political process, cannot amass, cannot claim powers that does not belong to it. The power to impeach is granted to the National Assembly, is granted to the Senate and not to the judiciary. They cannot save Rigathi Gachagua. The only thing that can happen is they'll examine the process. If it was by the book, believe me, they are not going to overturn that impeachment. All right.
So guys, that's it. What do you think? Do you think Rigathi Gachagua is going to be impeached, or he is going to survive this, or he is going to resign? Of course, we still have a chance to resign. We have today until on Wednesday. Maybe on Tuesday he might decide to come out and resign. He might come out and surrender and tell you guys, yo, you know what? These politicians have been bribed to make sure I go home, and so I've decided I want to fight another day, and he will resign. So that's it. Of course, I'm your host, presenter Dante, and kindly do not leave this page without subscribing. Consider subscribing so that you'll be notified anytime we update. And remember, we should be your #1 political channel, because we are here to make sure we bring authenticity and make sure we do some amazing predictions for you. That's it. See you next time. Goodbye.